Okay, here we have the same rusty, old stuff, outdated, obsolete ebony fretboard with this kind of knot here. And here we have the topmost revolution and the most innovative thing, and one of the best combinations ever possible, the maple fretboard with the maple iBird's maple bridge. It's this thing here. This is one of the best things. And of course, playability on the maple fretboard is impossible to match with this dull thing. And what to speak of the bridge, this obsolete bridge compared to this. Here there is the bone. Here there is the carbon fiber, extra flat, same dull thing here. And of course the fretboard, but this is more important because see the action we have here. And see the action that this offers you. This is totally different world. Therefore, maple fretboard rocks. Because this maple fretboard is different. And it's not different only to me, it's different to you and to the whole history of string instruments. Why Stradivarius did use this? Why did he use a neck of flame maple and a body of maple on his violins? Why Stradivarius violins are made of maple? Because maple is the best wood ever for sound and for musical instruments. Even now the cases of the fancy speakers to listen music are made of maple, because maple has some quality which is very favorable for sound. That cedar neck is an obsolete thing, but this fretboard here, the maple fretboard, this year, look, I have 30 years playing, and I have never felt so comfortable as on these fretboards. The maple fretboard, it allows me to play stuff that I can never play with the same thing, which comes from classical guitar, that is the ebony fretboard. Ebony fretboard is an obsolete choice, really. This is just, it's a fact. But that everybody does it, that's another thing, because it's the habit and the lack of discrimination, meaning to distinguish what's one thing and what's another. And this habit thing, it makes us not notice that we are doing the same things always, or not going outside of the same circle of stuff, right? Which means that habit is very important, what you are used to. And I was used to the other fretboard for 30 years, but not anymore. I don't want to play anymore that, because I can play stuff on the maple fretboard that I can never do on the regular ebony fretboard. So why I should use a thing that does not offer me any balance, or even the weight on that, as you can have balance on this much more than when this falls down with the weighty thing of the cedar, which, by the way, it was just used out of the fact that they want to save money on the materials, because of course plain maple is much more expensive than cedar, right? So this is why it was in the first place. My question is why it was, who said that it has to be a cedar neck, right? In fact, Hermann Hauser did change this, because he was a very intelligent man and an innovative man as well in classic instruments, Hermann Hauser. And, well, you know, Segovia played guitars from him also, which Segovia lent him a Santos Hernandez guitar, and then Hauser studied it and learned many things from it. Well, the thing is that back in the 1920 or 1930s, Hauser made guitars with the flame maple neck also for classical instruments. But here in Spain nobody did it. So this maple fretboard, along with the neck of flame maple, the fretboard itself, it offers you a whole new world of playability opportunities there. Because when you feel how you can play here without this weighty stuff of the ebony, then there is no meaning to go back to the past. Why, if the future does not offer you a new thing, then you tell me what is there. Right. And I'm telling you this after 30 years of playing the traditional guitar traditional material, raw materials for guitar, like, you know, this thing about the bridge being of rosewood, the necks cedar, and the fretboard made of ebony, etc. This is an obsolete thing to me, right? And if you try one, you will know why, because here there is one thing that the habit is the main, is of paramount importance. It's what you are used to. But if you try a new thing, then you want that, right? So it's just like from moving from one apartment to another, and if the new apartment is better, then what's the problem? So that's how I feel, because I can play with this fretboard, things that I could never imagine to play so easy with the Ebony fretboard. And that's why this maple fretboard is the change on the Spanish guitar making. This is a whole revolutionary, innovative stuff never made in Spain until these people did. So this is so much important to understand historically also. And of course, there is you who will feel how that works. To me, I tell you one thing, these maple fretboards are the thing. This is the most important element on redefining the new era of flamenco guitars. This is the biggest change ever done in the history of flamenco guitar, which is about the fretboard. This is to answer your question, what's the biggest change of all these things? That's the fretboard, because the traditional fretboard have here many changes on weight, balance, sound quality, etc. This is 2012, and here we have the Ebony fretboard and the Indian Rosewood Bridge with regular bone. And of course, accuracy, we have to notice that accuracy in the measurements was same, always accurate. But here, this change of material, anything that is on the bridge will change the sound totally. And of course, the fretboard, this is really so much clearer to play and easy to play than the Ebony one, which is coming from classic guitar, really speaking. This is one thing, and the other is about the neck. And the neck, here we can observe that from the old model, which was of cedar, like any other regular guitar, this has the fustero machine heads. And of course that was a cypress one, and this is a cherry back and sides guitar, and the maple fretboard with the flame maple neck. This. Now, as far as the angle is concerned, and how accurate is this thing here, you can see that both are very precise, this or this. But in here, this lighter material, it also helps to produce better vibration. This one, either you strung it normally, as in here with the 6th string on this peg, I mean, by having this asymmetric shape, means that this one here has, from both sets of trebles and basses, thickest string of treble set and thickest string of bass set, then less and less here, 4th and 1st, you see. While here we have the regular way to strum it up. But in any way, this should never touch here. That was already a big step towards research for a better sound on an ebony left-hand note. This here is fantastic, and as well as other materials like Palo Amarelo or the Purple Heart, different things on the left hand.